Hey yo, what it do, what it do? It's your boy Q, and it's about that time we get down and do what it do. Hopefully everyone's having themselves a fantastic Thursday. What up, what up, what up? We have ourselves kickoff here, our first matchup in about 5 minutes or so. It is UnirRocketeers Spring 2025, qualifier number 1. All right, let's get down to it, chat. That is my bad, my bad. We're into it, though. Game number 1. We got UniZG versus Team Twente. I want to make sure we do have our teams on the right side. Does look like we do. And let's get down to it, chat. Game number 1. Remember, it's a best of 3 here in our first round of the day. Round number 2, technically. Looks like some early pressure on here from University Twente. They've been doing a good job of keeping the ball down here on this side of the field since we've joined in. Keeping that pressure right around the midfield line. Feels like sometimes we'll see UniZG. Are we testing lobby? Is that what we're doing here? Let's have someone stand still for a second. I was so confused. UniZG, though, is going to be able to find a first goal. I think it just stalled for a second, was trying to figure out which way they wanted to take their car. Also, that might be the play that we keep seeing on and off in that red ping down the bottom. UniZG will be first one to strike. Now it's going to be up to University, our eSport Team Twente, to try and find a response. Only one shot thus far for University of Twente. Just seems like as far as early on, when we do see this ball come down into the orange half, it stays down here for a minute. They're doing a good job of being able to keep the pressure down on this side of the field. Hold on, counterattack opportunity, and that's just gonna go in. It's DJ from distance. Dread trying to get back, but just can't. And we're halfway through game number 1 here. Still tied up at 1. I mean, sometimes people like to call game number 1 the feeler game, but in these best of 3s, you just don't really have that benefit. All you got to do is win 2. I mean, the good news thus far is it has been a close series. Or close game, sorry. Despite the fact of the amount of pressure that we've seen here from UniZG. Been a lot of great defense. Oh, I thought the defense was going to be able to find a way to punch that back out across that goal line, but couldn't quite. Timra gets enough of it. Was also able to find the bump on the Amalocks to make sure they don't get back into play. 10 shots accrued by UniZG here. Final 90 seconds of play. So that first goal as far as from the side of Team Twente Esports. Was able to capitalize on a counterattack opportunity. I feel like that's probably going to have to be the case here for a second goal as well. We're just seeing so much pressure forward from the squad in blue. Dread's going to have open field here. Pass up to striker. DJ is going to be able to rise up. Finds the save. Also going to be able to gather this ball. Let's try and get it past the midfield line. Tries to get it past Dread, but can't. You've got 40 seconds, but you've got to be able to keep the possession down here. Every big clear that goes back down into the orange side is just more time that continues to dwindle away. DJ is looking to try and chase that thing down. Timra sends it back towards the midfield line. Now looking to gather it here. Such a tough first match. Hold on, opportunity. Oh, I thought that was going to be it. But Timra finds the save. I was just about to say a first match because you haven't found much offense. Almost find a way to tie things up late. That's got to be a little heartbreaking as UniZG gonna take game number 1. We had talked about it going into this. This is our first round of the day. There's not much time here. Means now as far as for eSport Team Twente, they're going to have to find a way to get out of their defensive half. I mean, you spent so much time down there. So we'll have to see. Take one more quick look at the scoreboard here before we get out. I just wanted to change our scoreboard at the top to reflect what it's shown in. I mean, the good news for you, if you are eSport Team Twente, is that your defense has done a great job of holding the line. But you've got to be able to follow that up by then being able to alleviate some of that pressure by advancing that ball up the field and then in turn getting some offensive production going. Let's go ahead and get down to it here. Game number 2. Maybe some early pressure here, and there it is. It's Timra from UniZG. They only need 11 seconds here in game number 2. We were close on the save, but close ain't gonna cut it. Not in this case. Of course, the good news with an early goal, if you are eSport Team Twente, is it does mean you've got time to respond. You've got to make sure that you can keep the defense clean, though, because right now, UniZG, when they come down the field, just like we saw there, it's cool, calm, collect, and Striker going to be able to find a way to slot that one across the goal line and into the net. It's 2-0, and we ain't seen but 35 seconds here in game number 2. What up, Ducky? How you doing, buddy? Striker, past one. Just has DJ to beat on the wall. Says, you know what? If you can't beat him, kablamy him. Finds the demo, pass to the other side of the pitch. Striker was there for the shot. Can't quite find it. Open field. If you see that Team Twente could have gathered it. Ends up not being the case. Nice job by Timra here as well to be able to keep the control. Amlox tries to find the read and just almost like he has the ball on the string, just puts it just out of reach. And it is 3-0. Looks like me. Okay, my guy. Okay. Chill, dog, chill. More pressure here early. Is this going to be a fourth? It is going to be a fourth as UniZG just continues to run it up. This is game number 2, and they refuse to give Team Twente room to breathe. We'll have to run our ads in between series here. That way you guys don't get hit with them during the game, chat. Try and pause that one there. It'll at least delay it to the end of the series. All we got is 2 more games. Nice shot here across. Hold on. Could that be the catalyst for Esport Team 20? One thing that we didn't see them do very much of in game number 1 was to be able to keep the possession down here on this blue half with the passing play to open things up. But can you duplicate that again and again and again? You've got time to, 3:15 on the clock, but that will also require the defense to be able to hold. Hammerlock's going to be able to find the save here. DJ pops that thing up. The problem is, I thought Dread was going to be able to win the foot race to it. Timra going to keep the pressure down here for now for UniZG. A swing and a miss. It's VD, who in a very awkward situation, but they're at least able to find the touch, but this ball has not left this front right-hand corner of the field. So to say at some point, if you can't find the clear, this UniZG squad will be able to punish you. And that's exactly what they do. What a good pass from Striker to drop that thing right back down to Timra. 5-1. There's still a whole half to play, so if Esport Team 20 can turn things around, you've got time to cook. But it's got to be quite the 180. Hold on, shot from Amalogs. Timra's going to be able to find the save. It's off the post. Pressure still forward. DJ over one. Isn't going to be able to find the second touch for the shot. Ball will still be moved back towards the middle of the field here. But only in a counterattack opportunity here for UniZG. DJ, Amalox tries to lead the way like a fullback. Puts a demo onto Striker. I do feel like the aggression is exactly what this squad needs. But you can't help but wonder if you recognize just a little too late. That shot's going to sail a little high and wide. And Dread now looks to flip the pitch on a mission in transition. It's a pass to the other side. Striker's up. Second touch. Not going to be able to find it. Drops it down for Timra, though. That was quite the pass. Gets shut down by Amalox. Dread be able to find the bump. Leaves it off for Striker. That ball's going to sail wide after it comes off of an Esport Team 20 defender. 85 seconds left in game number 2. It feels like you really can't afford any more empty trips, especially when UniZG is going to be able to add a 6th. Run it up, run it up, run it up. This squad seems to be on fire to get things started in open qualifier number 1. Here's Dread with an opportunity. Do we see UniZG send us off to warmer lands? Make sure you grab your boarding passes here, chat. Hopefully you've got your bags packed. There's still 57 seconds left as they look to send us off to Brazil. Pass over to Dread, who's already up in the sky. It's DJ with the save. There's going to be an opportunity. Dread's already up in the sky, though, able to read that. Slows down the initial attack. Incoming in here from Esport Team 20. What up? How you doing? Happy Thursday. There's Timra. Is going to be able to find that 7th goal. It is indeed your boarding call. We're off to Brazil. And for a team that surely wanted to try and set the tone for their Open 1 qualifier run, to be able to have such a dominant performance in round number 2 has to be feeling well. There it is, one more for the road. Doesn't look like it. Will be this ball touching the ground, and UniZG takes game number 2. Of course, if you lose game number 1, you can look to game number 2, especially if you finish off game number 1 in a decent spot. As far as, if you can control the back half of game number 1, even if you don't necessarily win it. The importance, of course, really being when able to win those back-to-back games and not be forced to have to do so late. There's early pressure on from Bathelona here. Bathelona coming in as the 9 seed. Meanwhile, UOS, hold on, wait a minute. Bathelona finds themselves an early goal. We'll talk about UOS in just a moment. It's Smart RSS. Is that Smarters? I don't know. That's a banger of a shot, though. Just from distance, put it towards the net, and it's that easy. UOS, steal your Crocs. University of Sheffield technically had the upset in their round 2 matchup over Fonzie's University. Maybe already feeling good with the 1 upset, seeing if they can maybe turn that into 2 here. Big thing they're going to have to try and do is find some way to set up shop down here on this blue half. It feels like for a lot of this first minute and 15 seconds or so, we have been spending a decent chunk of it down here on this orange half. Fell up in the sky. Urzi's going to be able to win the 50, though. Keeps the pressure on temporarily. Here's Smarts. Can you find the angle? No, you can't. Beeping Sheep finds the save, but it is Felt who's able to find the rebound on the opposite side of the goal. And when it's wide open like that, y'all know them Rocket League physics, man. Big old net, small little ball. All you gotta do is just simply tap that thing on in. Bathelona gonna be up by 2. Now it's gonna be about US steal of your Crocs. Try and find some way to really assert themselves on the offensive side. Haven't been able to do much here thus far. Had a couple of possessions, but nothing really threatening towards the net. Meanwhile, a couple of opportunities have definitely looked scary for Bathelona. You found 2. Here's a counterattack opportunity, though, for Beeping Sheep. Looks for the demo after the shot. Can't quite find it. Bathelona looking to keep the possession down here on this side as we close in on the second half of game number 1. They look to add to their tally. His job to be able to prevent the 1 shot. Open field if you can get past everybody, but Smarters is going to be there to be able to find the save. You already got yourself the Savior medal as well. You're halfway through game number 1. Letting you know, not only doing the offensive stuff, but the defensive work as well. Shot opportunity comes across. Koi's going to be able to find the save. Hold on, Beeping Sheep launches a shot forward, but killer car crash. Going to be able to find a save, and they've got a Savior medal. 7 saves thus far on the defensive side here for Bathelona. Still doing a great job being able to keep the pressure forward. Open net. Oh, Urzi almost gets there. Gets a nose on it. But the nose ain't going to be enough. And it's 3-0 with just over 100 seconds left to go. For our teams in this position here, you win. You're 2 series away from qualifying through uppers. Quarterfinals are up next. Bathelona could very well already have their eyes set on that. Koi with a pass there to Beeping Sheep. Hits him with the 1 bouncer. It doesn't need to be fast. It just needs to be effective. As Smart RSS are up on the backboard, just couldn't quite find the read. 3-1 here for Bathelona still, though. You got 2-goal lead with just under 80 seconds left. as I say, could be an easy opportunity. Ball back towards the middle, however, and all of a sudden, this thing's going back down the other way. Killer Car Crash has all sorts of gas in the tank to work with. Urzi screaming back to try and make the save, and going to be able to do just that. Couldn't quite find the big pad, though. Had they been able to do so, might have been able to get just a little extra pep in their step there to be able to win that 50 and send it deep down in the opposite territory. Instead, it's still Bathelona keeping the possession down here in this University of Sheffield VAF. Killer Car Crash. Try and take this thing from one side of the field to the other. More time, however, that just continues to dwindle away off the clock. 22 seconds. It feels like if you can't earn one here, that's got to be curtains. Anything short of a miracle. Killer Car Crash technically saving his teammate's shot there, although I do think there was a defender there to make a save had it gotten past. And there it is, final 3 seconds of game number 1. One more for the road, officially giving Smart RSS the hat trick here in game number 1. But really, ends up more as just a cosmetic goal. I mean, Bathelona keeping a lot of the pressure over the course of game number 1. I just felt like keeping a majority of the time spent down on that orange half of the field. Despite that being the case, though, I mean, we did see quite a bit of shots put on by UOS Steal Your Crocs. They were able to find 9 of them things. They technically only outshot, or Bathelona technically only outshot their opposition by 2. It just felt like, though, most of those shots relatively easy to save. Just not much oomph on them. You know, trying to make a play towards the net. Maybe see if you can find something off the rebound, but couldn't. The good news for UOS Steal Your Crocs is, well, the score from game number 1 no longer matters. We've got 6 players back out on the pitch, 5 minutes on the clock, zeros on either side of the scoreboard. It's game number 2, baby. Let's get down and do what it do. And UOS Steal Your Crocs only need but 4 seconds off of the kickoff as Urzi puts it up on their hood. And then look at the flick of the wrist, finds the back of the net. That's the type of start you're looking for in game number 2. And yeah, add a second. Beeping Sheep was already up. They got to screen back to defense, though, because Koi also missed their opportunity. Urzi in a tough position wins the 50 up to the middle of the field. Is that over Smart? Oh, if it was, it would have been a play towards the net. Instead, it's Felt. Going to go the opposite way. Does have Smart in the middle of the field. Could potentially look for a pass. Instead, Koi able to stop things down with the first initial 50. Urzi gets a nose onto it here as well. All getting caught down here in this front right-hand corner. I feel like we saw this a couple of times over the course of game number 1 where the ball stalls for a second. It feel like we saw a goal in response shortly after a couple of times. Urzi's going to be able to find a second here, and what a play that was. Rises on in. It was a wide open net as well. All you had to do was simply tap it in. And off we go. It's like one thing that we have seen is quite often somebody rolling around with relatively low boost over on that Bathelona side. Surprisingly here in game number 2, they haven't been able to quite play at the same speed that we saw them play at in that first game. However, this play by Killer Car Crash, a little more similar to what we're used to seeing. And despite the fact that they are playing from behind currently, they have been doing a better job as far as the ball control. And there it is, now starting to work around in their favor. Might have taken them a while to get things going, but as I was just talking about, they've had the possession. It's just about finding your mark. About 90 seconds gone by here in game number 2, and Bathelona has been able to tie things back up. One thing that has been interesting, though, is the field domination has been very much in favor of UOS Steal Your Crocs. They're sitting at about 70% here currently. Even with that being the case, still looking to try and find threatening looks towards the net. Here's Urzi. That drops down in front. If anyone's there, that could be an opportunity. Second one coming. There's a bump by Koi here as well. And what a play by Koi. One finds a way in the corner to send it towards mid, and then finds a way to get the bump onto the back end of Killer Car Crash, which leaves a biscuit right in front of the basket. That's going to be good eats right there. Just off of kickoff, it's that easy. What happens here? Felt just takes it off the side. No one able to rise up. I mean, Urzi tries to get there. Unfortunately, just can't quite find the read. That ball possession is starting to turn around more. We're seeing it continue to move more and more in favor of this UOS Steal Your Crocs, which makes sense with the lead that they've currently got. We've seen them down on this blue half quite a bit. Still no, I wouldn't count Bathelona out. I mean, there's a reason that they've been able to keep things tied up. It's efficiency. That's truly been the key to success in game number 2 here. So here's Smart, second touch, at least keeps it down on this side. Struggling to find a relief valve. Here is UOS. Here's Urzi, though. Does find a way out of the defensive side. Tries to make the solo play. Hold on. Okay, Beeping Sheep is back, but isn't going to be able to rise up in time. And what a play from one side of the field to the other. And Bathelona going to take the lead with 104 left, or sorry, 104 seconds left to play here in game number 2. And these are best of 5, so there will still be just a little bit more time for a potential turnaround. But I feel like what we've seen here already throughout the course of the first little bit of this series. Well, hold on. Let me shut my mouth for a minute, because I was about to say that University of Sheffield mostly looking for responses, but they have been able to find another one here. And as much as we had seen control in the first half of play, as far as field domination and ball possession from the side of University of Sheffield, which has allowed for them to stay kind of toe-to-toe with Bathelona in game number 2, the tides have slowly started turning. Ball's going to bend back towards middle. Is pressure forward, University of Sheffield. Right now, they're knocking on the doorstep, trying to see if they can regain that lead. You feel like, I mean, with final minute left to play, could very well be silver gold territory. Koi swinging a miss, faking, pass off to Sheep. Hold on, puts it on his hood. Everybody commits, though. If they can get the possession, might be able to capitalize. Popped up to the sky, but Smart RSS already there, passing it back up to the midfield line, passing into that orange half of territory as well. That's a shot from distance, wide open net, bang! And as much as University of Sheffield has had pressure, they've had leads at time. When you look up at the clock, it's 32 seconds left to go, and it's Bathelona up by 1. Opportunity to add one more here. Remember, this isn't a best of 3 like that first series. You do have the opportunity to really put your foot on the throat, so to speak, suffocate the opposition and make them feel even more pressure to need to move it up to another level heading into game number 3. Because while, yeah, 1-goal win, a win's a win, you were able to look across the pitch and say, with as much as you controlled the field early on and even towards the end of things there, we saw field domination finishing right around that 55%. Ball possession pretty well sitting at 50-50 there. I'm guessing Killer Car Crash looking to change their preset because this is indeed best of 5. I mean, they still have time. They were able to produce 10 shots. Unfortunately, those shots just not enough when it comes to being able to send things off to the rubber match. So now they will be looking at reverse sweep territory. Let's get on down to it. 5 minutes on the clock. Let's see if University of Sheffield has any more magic up their sleeves here in their upper bracket run. Already were able to find themselves one upset. They could find themselves a second in reverse sweep territory nonetheless. Against a top 10 squad coming into qualifier number 1. But there's a reason that they were able to pull off the sweep, pull off the upset in their round 2 matchup, because they have indeed come to play. Do have themselves a lead here in game number 3 as well. Question will become, can they hold on to it? Good news for you if you're a Bathelona fan is keeping it to just a 1-goal game. No matter how late it gets into this game, I think because you've seen the ability to find multiple goals in succession at multiple times through those first 2 games, you're not really sweating the fact that you're down. Because look, you're not even going to get outside of the first minute before you find yourself an equalizer. Felt being a nuisance on Koi with the bumps on the backboard makes a save darn near impossible. Oh, hold on. That's a dangerous spot here off kickoff. What happened here? First he sends it forward. Oh, just an unfortunate misread from Smart RSS. Good news is that will put University of Sheffield, allows them to stick their foot right back in the door one more time. They've got themselves a lead, but can you hold on to it for 4-0-1? Urzi not going to be able to field that one. Koi sends it towards the net, but only just a little bit. To pass to the middle. While Urzi was there, unfortunately, I believe it was Smart who was able to put it up out of reach. You still have time here if you're Bathelona, but it's got to start with a clear. I mean, it's only been 100 seconds to go by here in game number 3. And again, we've seen them be able to make adjustments late in games to be able to open up their offense. Maybe an opportunity here. Up in the sky is Smart. Pass back towards the middle. Felt pops it up, but Killer Car Crash not wanting to push forward, not just quite yet. Is going to be able to get both big pads, though, limiting what's in the tank for University of Sheffield. Up in the sky is Smart. Pass to Felt. But Koi is going to be able to stick a nose in there. Pressure still forward for Bathelona, however. Killer Car Crash gets a touch onto it. Felt keeps it forward. Eventually, though, it will be University of Sheffield finding the relief valve. Sends it down to the other side of the field. And it has felt like both teams doing a decent job here in this last minute or so. You know, we keep a decent amount of gas in the tank. Although we have seen a few times Bathelona is still able to make a lot out of a little, despite the fact sitting relatively low. This time around, could get punished for that lack of boost. No, able to find their way back in time. But it is still pressure forward for University of Sheffield. That shot would have been on target, but Felt from out of nowhere finds the save. It's 100 seconds left in game number 3. University of Sheffield trying to at least earn themselves a win. Every run does indeed start with one shot, and this could very well be it. What a play. Able to hold in a second, or able to add in a third goal, I should say. And it's just pressure that's been kept up in this blue half all game long. Controlling that field by about 57% here currently. Yo, what up, Muzz? How you feeling, big dog? Good evening, I suppose, to you. Chat, it looks like we got an incoming ad break. I don't think I just did enough ads before this series. That's my bad. I should have done a 3-minute ad on the break. I'll make sure to do that in between series this time around. Don't blame me, blame Twitch, you know what I'm saying? Luckily, though, for us, it should pop in at the end here, and it does look like game number 3. I don't want to say secured just quite yet. I mean, plenty of things can happen in 40 seconds, especially with just a 2-goal difference. Here's Bathelona, pass to the middle. Oh, Felt tries to go low, almost finds it. Now it's Coy in transition. Felt's going to be able to stick a nose in there. Gets possession. Has the ball in the corner. Looks for a pass, but can't keep the handle. Yeah, chat, you'll be back in a second after those ads. I do apologize, but it does look like it should be wrapped up before we head into game number 4. It does look like that's indeed where we're off to. Really good job here in this last game. And it's back to the garage. Even though we did see ball control and field domination a little more in favor of Bathelona's side, especially when you look at the shot, 8 shots as opposed to the 7. Efficiency truly being the key for University of Sheffield. We're going to let the full minute expire. That way we can try and get through as much of the ads before heading into game number 4. Again, I do apologize for that, chat. Trying to think if we should double up on ads going into the break so we don't catch them on the other side. Probably not. I think we should be fine. I think it's just because through that first hour, I snoozed that first one a bit. So you've gotten yourself a first point onto the board here. The question is, can you continue trekking forward? I had mentioned earlier, this University of Sheffield squad came into today, open number 1, ranked 25th. Now, when I say it was an upset in the first round, it does actually look like there was a DQ. It's highly unfortunate. But despite that, they've come in here, squared off against the number 9 ranked Bathelona. And at minimum, are going to be able to force a game number 4. We saw them able to find early pressure with a goal in that last game. See if they can do the same here. And more importantly, prevent Bathelona from finding one early. Despite me saying that, it's 11 seconds in. It's smart RSS, who I feel like has been the jump starter for a lot of the offense for Bathelona, punches it across the goal line. Will be possession off the kickoff here as well. I think when you look back to that last game, how much the tides turned in the last 2 minutes. It felt like earlier in the game, University of Sheffield had a pretty decent control of the field. kind of lost the handle towards the end of things. I feel like if you're going to pull off a reverse sweep in a situation like this, once you start to build the momentum, that momentum has to continue to carry over. Granted, it is just a 1-goal lead for now and plenty manageable for University of Sheffield if they can turn things around sooner than later. It has been a lot of control, though, early on from Bathelona. Not only on the scoreboard with the lead, done a decent job of being able to keep the ball down on that opposite half of the field as well. Hold on, though. This ball sails just a little too high for the defender. Smart can't get to it. Felt has no gas in the tank, just simply tries to jump to it, but can't get a nose onto it. And would you look at that? We're all tied up at 1 with 90 seconds gone by. I don't know about you guys, chat, but I would definitely love to see a game number 5. I should probably turn off that stream loot spot. Ignore that thing, chat. There's pressure here forward, though. Hold on. Shot comes across from Felt. Trying to find a way to turn that off. I've at least got the overlay off for it, so nothing can be approved, or nothing can get claimed. You still have time if you're University of Sheffield. 3 minutes left. But you do got to start cooking soon. I don't think you can rely on last-second miracles. However, finding an equalizer before halftime definitely makes things seem doable. Doesn't necessarily need to be the cleanest of goals, as long as it's able to find its way across the goal line. Now we're off to see if University of Sheffield can put themselves in the lead here. All their goals have been responses thus far. Koi pass 2. Can't quite find a way to slide that one in there. Smart finds the save. And now goes the opposite way. It drops down onto the hood of Beeping Sheep. Off onto Felt's hood here now. I feel like if you're University of Sheffield, it feels like this next one has to be your goal. And you're stuck back on your half for now. Beeping Sheep rises up, sends that towards the corner, but it's more pressure towards the net. Urzi stops and drops that one off. Every time they try and find a way up the field, it's the pressure from Bathelona before the midfield line. It's giving them just a little bit of trouble here. Pass forward. 90 seconds left here in game number 4, and it just feels like it's too close to call. If we talk about the feel from the control, I feel like it should be Bathelona's game, but we have seen that efficiency. Don't mind my alarm. It has been the efficiency that's been the key down on that University of Sheffield side. Of course, as much as I talk about efficiency being the key for them, it was the pressure. Ends up being just a little bit too much. Bathelona take the lead. 68 seconds left to play. You still have fine to tie things up, but you don't have very many more opportunities. Hold on, here's one. Urzi, though, lets that one get just a little bit too far ahead of them, and now all of a sudden they got to retreat back to the defensive side. Able to pick it up around the midfield. Shot's going to come across, but Felt gets able to send it to the corner and also able to gather it from one side of the field to the other. Finds the demo as they were able to find a good pass to Smart RSS, but Urzi there on the defense. 30 seconds left. If you're University of Sheffield, you've got to find a relief valve, and you've got to find it now. You cannot really afford any more empty trips. Keeping Sheep keeps it alive down here. Is that overfelt? Not quite. Bumped off, though. Coy going to lose the foot race to that one. Final 10 seconds. If you're University of Sheffield, you found one upset. Is there any more miracles in your upper bracket run? It does not look like it, as Bathelona win in game number 4. Oh, rickety, right. Told y'all it was going to be a quick break. Looks like we've actually already got players getting ready to hit to the pitch as well, man. We've got ourselves some winners bracket quarterfinal action here. You can see it on the screen. It's Fozza Napoli versus Vinci. Our number 2 seed versus our number 10 seed going into qualifier number 1. See who's going to be able to get that first point up onto the board here. Sorius trying to find their way up the field, but can't. Shot on target. Let's get saved aside. Here's Batal, sends it on in. Sorius looks for a shot, but it's going to be Skane who finds the save and sends it towards the corner. It's more pressure forward for Fozza Napoli, though. Sorius going to be able to keep it in this half for now. Rises up off the side while looking for a pass. Over to Cleverly. Just can't quite connect. Now it's up to Vinci with a quick bite at the cherry. Will be a quick possession, however. Now we're off back down to the blue half. One caught a little too far forward. Opportunity on the counterattack. Ball gets shut down. Here's Sorius. Looks for the shot. Batal finds the save. Ketkaz up in the sky. One touch to leave it towards the middle. Cleverly, one touch. Leaves it off for Sorius. And Fozza Napoli are going to be the ones who strike first. Takes a little over 90 seconds. 5 shots is what it takes. That's a lot of pressure in that first 100 seconds of play. Now they're looking to add a second shot. Going to come forward here from Sorius. Skane's going to be able to find the save. Zarko forgot something. Going to be able to pick things back up, however. Skane looks towards the middle of the field, but Sorius looking for an exit out of their defensive half. No gas in the tank, but able to do a lot with a little back towards the midfield line it goes. Cleverly should be able to field this. Only has a little bit of gas left in the tank. At least able to leave it towards the middle of the field, but it will be Zarko. Will be able to seize the control. If it is only temporarily, though, pass back to the middle. Cleverly almost there, but a kablamo. Sorius, can you find the pinch after the gather? Yes, indeed, you can. Makes it look so easy. Gets just out of room of Batal. Finds the pinch. Fozza Napoli. Be up by 2. However, we will see Zarko able to find a relatively quick response. Off of the kickoff, it's an awkward touch. And Ketkaz leaves what ends up being a centering touch. Unfortunate mistake, but the good news is you do still have that lead. There's going to be more pressure forward. Cleverly sends it back towards the middle. Zarko clears it to the sidewall. Nope, not much gas in the tank. That actually seems to be the case for quite a few players. Over from Sup to Vinci. Cleverly going to be able to add a third here. What a play. And for Fozza Napoli, while it maybe hasn't been the most dominant of looks, they've still been able to do a great job of putting 8 shots on target, 3 of which have found the lace. And most importantly, they've got themselves a lead here in game number 1. Cleverly looking for an exit out of their zone. Skane pops it up. Leafed off for Zarko. 2 players on that back wall. If Ketgaz can't win that 50, it's a dangerous position. Still could be if we see Zup Da Vinci able to get quick control of the possession. However, unable to do so. But it is still the possession nonetheless. Pass towards the backboard. Here's Batal. But that also sails high. And we've seen Sup Da Vinci have opportunities, despite the fact that maybe they don't have the most shots, because, I mean, the field is being controlled technically by them by just a slight little bit. Ball, however, is controlled slightly in favor of Fozza Napoli here. Hold on, Ketgaz. Can you pop that over Zarko? Isn't going to be the case. And now it's Batal looking to go the other way. If you score a goal on this trip, maybe you still have a chance at it. But if it's another empty visit, it feels like it could very well be curtains on game number 1. And with that clear here from Ketgaz, that could very well be the case. Cleverly passed over to Ketgaz. Oh, hold on. Zarko able to find a save, however. Still can't find a way to relieve this pressure. Shot bar down from Cleverly. Bang, just like that. And it's 4-1 here in game number 1. Sup Da Vinci might have been able to come from behind in their last series. They'll now have to do something similar here. Of course, this is only game number 1. We talked about it. It's usually more about how you can move in towards game number 2. Could that goal there maybe be something to build on? I'm not quite sure. Feels like that definitely more of a cosmetic goal. Despite the fact that it's not a last-second goal. Oh, I know you like that BDS emblem there, boss. I should probably make sure I pick one up out of the store before they're taken out. Well, there's game number 1. Fozza Napoli, your number 2 seed. Coming into qualifier number 1. Able to win game number 1 by a pretty convincing score. 12 shots as opposed to the 8 picked up by Sup Da Vinci. The disrespect that I don't have on, look, dog, you're going to have to chill, my fan. You know what I mean? You act like I've had this game forever. But here we go. Fozza Napoli take game number 1. Let's see if they can continue with the control in this series, because they're in an interesting spot. The other series on this side of the bracket, for as far as the upper bracket, still is yet to start. So if you can find yourself a quick 3-0 here, you might have a little bit of a break before that qualifying match in that upper bracket semifinal. Nice bump by Batal here to be able to clean up the back line. It is pressure early on from Sup Da Vinci. We mentioned at the end of game number 1, they had to look towards game number 2, and 20 seconds in, they've got themselves a lead. Can they keep it here, though? That's going to be the real question. You have pressure early on. Hold on, it's an open field the opposite way, however. Batal gets enough of a touch, sends it towards the sidewall. That ends up back in the middle of the field. Dangerous spot if Cleverly gets a nose on it. Kekos able to rise up and punch that one across. And while Sup Da Vinci might have had the first goal, Fozza and Napoli don't need long to respond. Here we go. 1 minute gone by, tied up at 1 in game number 2. Talked about the importance of this game for Sup Da Vinci. And while they haven't been able to come out and hold the line and at least stand toe-to-toe with this Fozza Napoli squad, they got to make sure that they can continue to do so for another 4 minutes. Skane in transition, able to win the 50. Tall, looks with Zarko to try and stall that thing out. Try and squeeze that under the defender, but can't. Hold on, open field here. Batal can get a touch on it. Can he get a redirect on a second touch? No, but Zarko was already up. And that's what you need if you're Sup Da Vinci. Back into the driver's seat you go. Of course, there is still 3:27 left to play. Sorius up in the sky off of the kickoff, looking for a quick response. It's going to be at least a little bit of possession. Hold on, is that just bouncing? Is that just in? Batal gets enough of it. Second touch sends it off the post, but it's going to be Cleverly, who absolutely slots it top bins. Sup Da Vinci unable to find a clear relief. Here we go. Sorius looking for a double touchdown. Can't find it there. Zarko looking for a clear. Second touch puts it in the open field. Skane tries to put it over Cleverly, but can't. But Batal fields it as it drops down right into their lap and able to punch it across the goal line. And one more time, Sup Da Vinci have the lead. Let's get down to it here. Getting ready to enter into the second half. Sup Da Vinci have definitely understood the assignment coming into game number 2, looking for a shot as Batal, but Kekos finds the save. That's a savior medal here as well. Before we even meet the midway point in game number 2. Hold on, open field. Oh, but you can't keep the handle. Can Batal find it? There it is. It's not Batal. I'm sorry, that's Zarko. Batal will get credited for the save, however. Chat, I completely forgot to do an ad again before we got into this game. I'm sorry. I gotta stop doing that. There is still time here if you're Fozza Napoli. I don't think you're pressing the panic button just quite yet, and we've already seen them in the bracket being okay with dropping a game. Of course, you just need to make sure you pick up 3 wins before the squad you're playing against. Let's get down to it. Fozza Napoli, you got to start with finding a clear. Here it is, Sorius. There's the clear you need. You find a second touch here. Cleverly is going to be able to at least keeps the possession. Kekos fires a shot on, open target. As much as you had a defender close ain't gonna be enough. Guskane finds a touch, but the ball still finds its way across the goal line, and we've got ourselves a 1-goal ball game. Got 65 seconds here still if you're Fozza Napoli. You don't have to press the panic button just quite yet. Especially because we have seen them still being able to do a good job as far as the control of the field. And just like that, they walk it down to the other side of the pitch. No panic necessary. And we're tied up at 4. Now when we talk about panic, it's up to Vinci. Probably starting to feel a little bit of panic. In the back of their minds, they've seen this lead disappear, and it could very well turn into a deficit. Zarko going to be able to find a save. Back and forth as the pendulum swings. Big booming touches, where neither team truly able to seize the control. Skane looks for it, but Sorius finds the save. Batal, one touch off the sidewall, gets it over one, but can't get it over Kekos, who's now past 2. Only has Zarko to beat. Left off for Cleverly, but that shot gets shut down. Hold on, borrow a ball back in the middle of the field, I should say. Can you pop it up in the sky? Kekos able to do that, but once it touches down, it's off to overtime we go. Feels like such a big game for Vinci, because you've been able to go toe-to-toe with them in this response game in game number 2, but if you drop it here, would be so demotivating. Zarko has field. Batal's on the sidewall. The shot will sail wide. Kekos over 1. Up towards the midfield line. Cleverly gets enough of it to pop it up, but can't keep the handle on it. All going to enter into the Vinci side. Sorius takes the big boost. Less resources on hand for Vinci to try and find a way to flip this field. Cleverly rides up with a 50, leaves it off for Sorius. Now continuing to walk it down. Picking the pockets here is Skane, however. Was looking for a pass to Batal, but now it is open field if Kekos can get there. Skane, the only one to beat. Skane with no gas in the tank, but has plenty of time to be able to get up onto the backboard and field that one. Sorius from right around that mid-left big boost. Makes the solo play. And while Vinci might have gotten close, this ain't horseshoes, nor is it hand grenades. Skane even finds enough of a save to make you think that there's hope. But instead, it's another game 1 by Fozza Napoli. Technically outshot that last game as well, was Fozza Napoli. So Vinci 10 shots as opposed to the 9. Of course, that is relatively close. What up, Ducky? So one more game puts Fozza Napoli into that qualifier match. We did see Vinci win back-to-back games in that last series. We caught the tail end of it when we tuned in But can they do back-to-back-to-back against the number 2 seed nonetheless? Well, it's going to be quite a mountain to climb. Let's go ahead and head back out to the pitch. Game number 3, Fozza and Napoli. Looking to wrap things up. I think super important for Vinci to put themselves in the driver's seat here. Last thing you want is to give this Fozza Napoli more to build upon. Early on in game number 3, Sorius fires a shot, saved by Skane. It's going to get cleared back towards the midfield line. Kekgau's there, though, to field it. Doesn't have much gas in the tank to work with, however. Skane back into that Fozza Napoli side. Kablamo takes out cleverly. Sorius back to the midfield line. Open field if Kekgau's can get to that. Can't get there quick enough. Skane's going to at least send it back towards the midfield line. Cleverly's there, but a little bit of a mistouch. That ball slowly working its way into that orange half. Oh, double swing and a miss. Awkward position. Cleverly should be able to field this one. Skane already up in the sky. Reading it like a book, or maybe just getting lucky. I'm not exactly sure which one it is, but now it's Batal. Last one back, doing enough to slow down this approach. It's 2 players coming in down on that left wall. Ball towards the middle. Kekgau's not going to be able to field that one, however. Looking for a pass to a teammate. Sorius was already up in the sky. Cleverly around the midfield line, keeps the pressure forward, but only temporarily. Got 100 seconds gone by in game number 3, and Vinci have been able to hold the line, despite the fact we've seen a bunch of pressure put on by this Fozza Napoli team. Kekgau's not able to rise up off of that side wall to grab it. The longer this game goes tied up, the more pressure you would imagine Vinci start to feel. You don't want to be in a position late in game number 3 where one goal could spell the end of your upper bracket run. Of course, this Vinci squad would be able to still rely on their lower bracket to qualify here in open number 1. And they might need to do that because Fozza Napoli are going to be the first to strike. Nice job by Kekgau's to put themselves in position for that one too. You still have a little less than a half to play here if you're Vinci. You only need 1. Definitely feels doable. Can't get caught creeping forward like that, though. That was a wide open backfield if we would have seen Fozza Napoli be able to gather a handle on it. It just doesn't feel like Vinci able to keep constant pressure down here on this orange side. They might walk it down, get an opportunity, a shot. Rarely do we see them keep the possession, right? Then be able to play it from there. And now at this point, Fozza Napoli just 80 seconds away. Oh, hold on. Hey, what a save by Kekgau's there. Be able to keep that 0 hanging over on the blue half of the scoreboard. Kekgau's looking for a pass to the middle. Sorius can't quite find it there. Hey, hold on. One pass. He's looking for Cleverly, but couldn't quite. Zarko has open field to play with. Kekgau's has enough to be able to find the touch. Hold on. Ball's going to be in front of the net. but Tall can't get to that. Instead, that just goes down the opposite way. What? Hey, yo, hold on. Excuse me? Unfortunate. Zarko get a touch onto it. We can't send it over towards the corner. Instead just acts as an assist. And now with a 2-goal lead, 36 seconds. Don't get me wrong, we've seen comebacks before. Plenty doable. The way that this series is played out, I just don't see it here, chat. Fozza Napoli has shown exactly why. They come into this thing touted as one of our top teams for UnirRocketeers 2025 spring action. And they are now going to be one series away from securing themselves a dance for the main event. Don't pay attention to the top of your screen for just a moment, chat. Too late. God, you're right though, Ducky. Hopefully, since we started that last one so late in that last series, we should be fine. Let me reset the scoreboard, chat. My fault. I saw it pop up and I did not want to get caught out of it. I do also like hitting you with the mid-game ads. It's kind of trolly, you know what I'm saying? This is our number 1 seed here, chat. Versus our number 5 seed. German Institute versus a UK one. No, I'm sorry. 2 German institutes. One of these 2 teams will indeed secure themselves a spot in UR Spring for the main event. And the team that is going to drop or to strike first is Dr. Buhmann. I do believe this was were they our winners back in our last event? Yeah, they won back in December. Dr. Buhmann Academie. This KIT SC Lawnmowers won qualifier number 4 last time around. A team that was also able to find the decent amount of success, lower bracket quarterfinals, losing to the team that would eventually lose in the grand finals. A team that finished 5th, 6th last time around. So 2 top 6 teams for the lawnmower, KIT SC Lawnmowers. They're going to have to try and find some way to slow down this Dr. Buhmann Academy. Because as for now, they've been the ones that have been able to find the 2 goals. Despite the fact that technically KIT SC Lawnmowers have been controlling more of the field thus far in the game. Or sorry, have been controlling more of the ball thus far in the game. Field has been controlled slightly by Dr. Buhmann. Not very many shots, though, thus far in this game. Only 1 from KITC SC Lawnmowers. Of course, it's hard to find shots when you're stuck in your back half. Zeto rises up but can't keep the handle on it. Vano looking for a pass potentially. Was looking for Pindroy but couldn't quite connect. That ball ends up sailing wide. Open field opportunity. It's a foot race down into the blue half. Kablamo. Vano has an open net if they can get to it. Oh, Zeto tries to find the touch. But Sale's just a tad bit high. Gablamo, says Vano. Troy? I was looking for it, but couldn't. So much pressure here for Dr. Buhmann Academy. Oh, nice pass across. That one couldn't quite find its mark, however. But still, when we talk about pressure, they've been able to play keep away from this KITSC Lawnmowers squad, who have only been able to acquire 2 shots over the first 3 minutes and 45 seconds at this point. And while maybe they haven't necessarily recorded the most of shots, that'll be shot number 6, 3 of them have found the lace. And away we go. One minute left in game number 1, and right now KITSC Lawnmowers just needs to find some semblance of offense. Something to build upon going into game number 2. Counterattack opportunity, trying to flip this field quickly. Pass to the middle for Loris Raptor. That shot does sail wide. Kablamo, says Zeto. But that won't stop the approach here from KITSC Lawnmowers. The defense for Dr. Buhmann refused to bend, refused to break. Doing a great job of sending a lot of the balls out towards the side wall. It's not spending much time in the middle of the field where it could potentially get shot on net easily. We're going to do a quick ad in between games here, chat, to try and prevent one from coming across during the games. You can see plenty of former CRL Worlds contenders. An RLCS Challenger tag out there as well. A lot of talent on this field. But does KITSC Lawnmowers have what it takes to be able to turn things around? We had mentioned earlier in the day, you can look to game number 2 and hope that maybe a response there helps you out. It feels like the response has to be relatively early, and the big thing is you have to find some way, somehow, to start producing some sort of offense. 2 shots ain't gonna cut it when you're playing against the best team, and UnirRocketeers are winter champions. So here we go. Let's get down to it. Game number 2. Let's get down and do what it do. KITSC feels like they need themselves an early goal, something to build upon, and there it is. It's the kablamo whammo combo. You take out Pindroy, and as much as Zeto almost still finds a way to make the save, will be an early lead. UniZG definitely looked good earlier today when we saw him. I'm just going off of winner results. Ew, Vano almost finds a way to dunk that thing home. Definitely would have been a highlight reel. Droy fires it just a tad bit high. Pass back to Zeto. Oh, if that thing had more oomph on it, that probably finds the lace. But now here's this Dr. Buhmann keeping the pressure forward, and Pindroy finds the shot from right around that midfield line. I don't understand how it's already getting me to run an ad when we just ran an ad. Yo, Twitch just don't make no sense, big dog. We literally just ran 60 seconds of ads in between games, and now it's like, hey, we should run another one. And I can't dismiss it. I can't snooze it. So I'm sorry, chat. Twitch doing Twitch things, man. "75 seconds gone by in game number 2. Bro, you saw me run ads, Ducky. Don't get mad at me, big dog. I did my job. Probably should have ran a 90-seconder instead of a 60-seconder. I guess I'll learn my lesson, chat. I'm sorry that you guys had to be the ones to pay the piper. It's only running a 30-second ad anyways to make up for what didn't get ran, so whatever, I guess. We take those. KITSC Lawnmowers, though. While you have been able to find a goal in game number 2, you've only been able to find one shot. So you can sit there and tout 100% efficiency, I guess, if you want to have some sort of copium. But your offense has to find something. It starts with shots, then we can start talking about goals after that. Opportunity here. YoBoyRaptor sends it down into that Dr. Buhmann side, but only temporarily. The one thing I can say is it just seems like it's very, I don't want to call it basic, but almost basic. They just keep it simple over that Dr. Buhmann side. Like, they definitely have some plays where they get up and they get aerial. But for a team that were your champions in this winter, or currently your #1 seed, I can't say I'm necessarily blown away, you know? Sometimes it's just about doing what's efficient. And that seems to be exactly what Dr. Buhmann is very good at. Restricting the looks of KITSC Lawnmowers. They're able to get plenty of opportunities on their own. That was shot number 7 while we're talking about it. Bono's up in the sky. Can't keep the handle. Oh, all of a sudden this is dangerous. And that's just in. It goes the other way. Hand up. Feel like I was kind of just talking about Dr. Buhmann giving them a little bit too much gas. The KITSC Lawnmowers, who take the lead with 80 seconds left to play. Now you got to keep things under control for 65 seconds if you're KITSC Lawnmowers. The more time you spend down on this orange half, that's just time that dwindles off the clock. Winning the 50 there. Matei able to pop that thing right back up in the sky, but it doesn't prevent a counterattack. Here's Vano. Hold on, open field here. Percy can get the control. It's popped up in the sky. Looks for the handle. Dropped back for YoBoyRaptor. Can you find the second touch to pinch it down? Oh, the pinch ends up coming down across the backboard. And it's not enough. It is more time that's taken off the clock, though, as we're now into our final 30 seconds of game number 2. Zito's going to be able to find the save. Pindroy hits Matei with the kablamo, but that doesn't stop Percy from pressing the issue. Presses forward. He's looking for a third. That definitely would seal the deal here. Final 5 seconds as Dr. Buhmann looks to try and seize the control. It's a passing play late. Once this ball hits the ground, however, we will indeed be going off to the rubber match, all tied up at 1. Worth noting that Pindroy on his own matched the shot output of KITSC Lawnmowers. I do think if you are KITSC Lawnmowers, I don't think you can necessarily depend on this efficiency, the discrepancy in shots to be able to walk away with a series win. Yeah, it got you game number 2. But what are you going to do here in game number 3 to continue to find success? 5 minutes back onto the clock. The end of this game here, one of these two teams puts themselves on a series point and will only need one more win to secure their ticket into the main event. Definitely feels like the pace of play, you have to imagine Dr. Buhmann is still the squad you expect to qualify out of this upper bracket, but KITSC Lawnmowers has shown that they have come to play. Shot from Zito. Mati gonna be able to find the save. Picks up the big pad as well. Might be able to get to that ball off the sidewall. No, it's actually Vano. Looks for the shot. Lori Raptor finds the demo before, or gets the save before getting demoed. It's pressure forward for Dr. Buhmann. But pressure ain't enough. You need results like you're going to see. No, not see here. Actually, it's Zeto from out of nowhere. Like an RKO to be able to find the save. It's a transition down the opposite way. It starts with D. It ends with a beautiful shot that starts with a beautiful pass as well from Vano. Zeto doing it all. The save, the goal, and Dr. Buhmann up early on in game number 3. What does KITSC Lawnmowers have for response? That ball was like 85% across the goal line. What a huge save. Mati looks to send it back towards the net. Zeto sends it over towards the sidewall. If you're able to find a way to get the clear with that amazing save, it feels like such a relief. 90 seconds gone by and you have a 1-goal lead. Percy is going to look to try and help change that here for KITSC Lawnmowers, but they're having to earn every foot down the field. Bono has an open net, and we talked about the physics of Rocket League earlier. That's a big old net and a small little ball. And when Pendroy is able to find a bump, makes that save darn near impossible. Hold on. You add one here. Percy, it felt like that was an opportunity. One you definitely like to have back. But still, with the ball down on this side of the field, Lori Raptor going to be able to slot this thing to that far side of the net. Takes this lead and effectively cuts it in half. Three minutes left to go in game number 3. Plenty of time for this thing to go back and forth a few more times. Open field for Vano. Gonna be able to pick up the big pad. He's able to step in, but that just means nobody's simply straight on that back line. Lori Raptor rises up. Kablamo in the open field. Vano's gonna be able to send it towards the side wall. Past Percy as well, which means Matei, the last one back, luckily gets the assistance from Lori Raptor, able to work their way underneath. Pendroy's going to have to make a play towards the sidewall. Has 2 players coming upfield towards their net. Okay, hold on, Vano. What can you do with it? Doesn't look like it's going to be much this time around. Counterattack opportunity for Lori Raptor. Loses the handle of their Octane, unfortunately. So now for KITSC Lawnmowers, they'll have to retreat back to the defensive side. 2 minutes left to play in game number 3. Zito looks to fire a shot on target. Vano looks to follow it up. Both of those get shut down by KITSC Lawnmowers. What more can you really ask for? But to be in it with 95 seconds to play, The situation that KITSC Lawnmowers has put themselves into, but they are still behind by 1. A goal before entering into the final minute of play would be beautiful. Ball's going to head towards the middle of the field. Still popped up in the sky. I don't think LoriRaptor gets there in time, not to keep the control, but it at least keeps the pressure down on this side of the field. "65 seconds still left to play. That 1 goal is still the deficit. Hold on, opportunity here. Still with the possession forward. LoriRaptor looks for a pass to the middle, can't find it. Leaves it in a position for Zeto to send it back towards the midfield line. Percy looks for a pass, has LoriRaptor there, but Zeto finds the save. That's going to be the savior medal as well. Awkward shot, sails just high and just wide. It means you're still in it here if you're able to flip the field for the Lawnmowers. But it's that back to basics sort of approach. Allows for this Dr. Buhmann squad to keep consistent, keep the pressure, and eventually going to be able to find the lace late in game number 3. Extends their lead to 2. If it didn't feel like it was over, that certainly has to feel like a nail in the coffin. We had mentioned how one of these two teams had a chance to put themselves on a series point. Over the course of game number 3, these 5 minutes, was Dr. Buhmann able to come out and do what needed to be done. 10 shots as opposed to the 6 from KITSC Lawnmowers. Despite the fact that technically ball possession and field domination very slightly, ever so slightly, in favor of that KITSC Lawnmower squad. Everyone's all readied up out on the pitch, so you know what? I ain't gonna make them wait on me. Let's go and get ready to do it one more time here, chat. Dr. Buhmann, potentially 5 minutes away from clinching themselves a spot in the main event here for our our UnirRocketeers spring event here in 2025. Zeto going to be able to punch it home. Doesn't take him long for Dr. Buhmann. Bigger, faster, stronger, over Mati. And it's just 8 seconds into game number 3. Have a chance for a quick response here, does KITSC. They've got to keep the possession. Isn't going to be the case here. Drop off to Vano. And that's going to be a second goal in 23 seconds here in game number 3. Opening things up, and it feels like Dr. Buhmann looking to make light work of this qualifier matchup. One of our 4 qualifying spots is on the line for open number 1 in this series here, and Dr. Buhmann seem to want to have their name on it. Definitely feels like it's just about theirs at this point. Of course, momentum can be a scary thing in Rocket League, and with over 4 minutes to play, this is far from being done in game 4. And how often we talk about over here with a lot of the Rocket League casting we do, in these best of 5, that team who wins game 4 more often than not ends up winning the series. And I'm not talking about in the situations like Dr. Buhmann who win the series in game number 4. We're talking about for those KITSC Lawnmower type situations where you extend the series and then you go back to back to be able to wrap things up. They've at least been able to cut the lead in half. Now looking to enter back into the offensive possession. Opportunity. Hold on. What an angle. I was about to say opportunity for them to get things set up to try and get their offense going. Instead, Lori Raptor just says, watch this. Breaks out the protractor. And we're tied up at 2. Now it's going to be about who can really step up here in this next about minute or so. You feel like if you are Dr. Buhmann, you can give yourself a lead going into that final half of play, especially if you can get multiple goals here in this next minute. Could pretty well take the last little bit of life out of this KIT-SC squad. While they have shown resiliency for sure, hold on. Let me just shut my mouth right quick. Because they have shown resiliency. And now with that goal lead, or with that goal there, they take the lead right before we enter into our final half of game number 4. I feel like if you can keep possession down here as well, you're just simply playing keep away. You're building up that confidence. Lori Raptor pops it in the sky. Vamo's on the backboard. Ball ends up towards the middle of the field. Percy looks to at least get a touch to keep it forward. There's one. Zeto says, we're going to keep moving it down towards the other side of the field, though, bucko. Percy finds 2 demos, though, which means Zeto, the last one left on the pitch temporarily for Dr. Buhmann. That almost didn't stop them from being able to find a goal. This is going to be our final 100 seconds here in game number 4. But here we go, Lori Raptor up. Not quite gonna find that one. Pass off and left ear. It's actually Zeto who picks it off. It's not really a pass. Here we go. Well, welcome on in, Pads. Glad you made it. We're gonna be doing coverage all through our all 4 qualifiers over here on the channel. Final minute of play here, and looking to add to their tally. It's an open net. Matee gonna be able to simply tap that thing on in. Percy gets not Percy, I'm sorry. No, it was Percy who gets enough of it. Leaves the biscuit in front of the basket. It's gonna be good eats right there. You know, that's a good question. I meant to attach a second tweet, and I guess I never did I? That's Mobby. Because UnirRocketeers definitely shared my tweet. That's a failure on my part. We got a first-timer out here. 30 seconds left to play. Unless Dr. Buhmann can find themselves a miracle in these final 30 seconds, find back-to-back goals, we're going to be off to game number 5. And who doesn't want a game number 5 for a qualifying match? You know what I mean? Just like our other games, close when it comes to ball possession and field domination. Almost 50-50. but able to do what was necessary was KITSC. One more match, chat. One more match. Let me know who you guys are cheering for over in chat. I had mentioned during game number 4 how often the team that wins game number 4 wins the series. Can KITSC prove that to be the case, or will our winter champions secure themselves a spot through the upper bracket? I think a German team will win. I think that's probably a pretty good possibility. Dreads on it. I love it. Shot forward here from Pindroy. That's going to find the top post. Now counterattack. Double touch. No, shut down by Vano. Zeto was looking for the Psycho to continue advancing the ball forward. Couldn't quite get the touch. Ori Raptor. Couldn't find the bump. Couldn't find the demo. Did get the big pad, though. Leaves a little bit less in the tank for our players from Dr. Buhmann. Try and find a way out of their half. Up in the sky is Percy. One touch. Ends up onto the hood of a defender. Hold on. Open net if you can find it. Instead, it's Vano. Rises up. Bats it aside. 1 minute gone by in game number 5, and we're still scoreless. 2 shots on either side. Should be a relatively easy clear. You just got to get past Pindroy. Oh, if you could have fielded the control a little cleanly. Might have actually been able to make a play towards the net. You had space. Speaking of space, here's some field open. Pindroy doesn't get to it, but Pindroy does indeed send it towards the corner. Allows for KITSC to walk this thing slowly up the field. The 51 is going to advance it forward. Why is it trying to hand you guys an ad? I hate Twitter. Or Twitch, not like this. All right, that's it. We're doing a 3-minute ad during the break to make sure that we don't get ads during the game for our next one. Vano, however, will be able to break the seal here in game number 5. Let's rush this ad. That way we can still get back before the end of the game, chat. Rosetto has an open net. Ooh-wee! Lori Raptor finds just enough at the end of their octane to be able to get a nose onto that thing. Zeto rises up, punches it across the goal line, and it's now a 2-goal lead. Still time for KITSC Lawnmowers to be able to turn it around. It feels like the first one has to be sooner than later. Maybe here? Yes, indeed. It's Percy who will deliver. The bouncer just past Zeno. 2:13 left to play. This game number 5 is far from over. Kind of been a tussle around the midfield line. Both teams vying for possession here. So it will be Lori Raptor looking to gather it, looking to enter into that Dr. Buhmann Academy side. Shot on target from Lori Raptor. Zeto. I Thought would have been able to launch that towards the net. Oh! A missed field off the backboard. Almost left way too easy of a goal for Dr. Buhmann. KITSC is slowly running out of time. 82 seconds left to play. Okay, nice little small touch from Lori Raptor. Second one there keeps the pressure alive as well. Hold on. Zeno's the last one to beat if Matee can get to that. Can't. But Percy's over on the sidewall trying to get there. It's an open field. Can Zeno get there in time? Oh, no. Not going to be able to do so. Still just a one-goal game. Goal there probably would have sealed the deal, it feels like. Will be Matee, pass over to Percy. It's still in the middle of the field. This is a dangerous position. Buried deep in this orange half. Every touch from Dr. Buhmann that moves back towards the midfield line is 3 seconds off the clock. If you can find a clear, it's even more than that. 12 seconds left to go. Percy needs to find a clear, and KITSC needs to find a way to gather the possession. Vano able to turn things back around over into the blue territory. 1 second. You gotta keep it up. Can you do it? No real gas in the tank. Popped up for Lori Raptor, but unable to keep that ball up in the sky. That means it will be Dr. Buhmann, our winter champions, securing themselves a spot in the main event.